Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and Chase Young is finally back. He's cleared and will be active for week 2 against the Denver Broncos. Also go over the rest of the injury report and some other important things. If you guys are new, please subscribe. We are so close to 11,500, under 50 away, so go ahead and do it. It's free. Also hit that like button, notification bell as well, and check out BetUS, link in the description. So Chase Young is finally back. He's cleared and will be active for week 2 against the Denver Broncos. The reporting last week, when they reported he was going to be out for the game against the Cardinals, said he wasn't going to be back till week 3. That's what Ben Standig said, but I guess it's not true. And I was really confused when he was cleared to play last week, and then he practiced all of this week, and then for him to not be able to play, that would have just been weird. And yeah, it makes sense that he's playing this week because he got a full week of work. You know, one limited day, and the last couple of days have been full, so he's good to go. Might be on a snap count. I want to see what, let's see. Yeah, so this is what Rivera said on whether Chase Young plays with a snap count. We have to be smart and diligent on that. So I don't know if that means he's on a snap count or not, the way it's worded here. So he might be on a snap count. If he is, that's fine. If not, that's great. But, you know, the backups like Casey Tuhill, James Smith-Williams, those guys did a pretty good job holding it down while he was out. So if he has to get out a few snaps, that's fine. But I'm just excited that he's back, and we're going to see someone like, you know, a really good talent there at edge. And Montez was amazing, but the D-line as a whole is going to be even better now because it just, you double one guy and, you know, the rest of the line is going to be free to go. Let's see, the rest of the injury report. Quan Martin out with a concussion. That was expected. It's unfortunate. This is a guy that needs to develop more, hasn't developed enough yet. It's still very early, but having him out for this game is tough. And then it's not a loss, though. He didn't play any snaps last week on defense, on special teams. He, you know, had a penalty. Curtis Samuel was limited, I think, all week, but he's going to play on Sunday with a hip injury, feeling a little bit of tightness there. Terry's all good to go. Sam Cosmi is also good to go. And I'm trying to think of who else. Chase Young as well, which we'll get into in a second real quick. But overall, really good, you know, injury news for the Commanders. I mean, Terry, he still might be, sorry about that. He might be still slightly limited. Like, he's probably like 90% right now. I think week 3, he'll be almost at 100%. I think Chase Young will be fully, like, they'll give him 100% of the snap, or like as many snaps as he would normally play next week against the Bills. And then week 5 is when you get guys like Fedarian Mathis back, and then Efe Obada, who I think was a big loss, or has been a big loss, and, you know, would have been good to have last week. But again, those guys held it down and played pretty well, but he can play inside as well. And then Fedarian Mathis, you know, hopefully he comes back and plays well. But, you know, John Ridgway was good, so is Abdullah Anderson. So, you know, but we're getting some guys back, which is really, really good. But Chase Young, he has a chance. This defense is already really good. He has a chance to make this like something that opposing offenses are really scared for. I mean, going up against, you know, an offensive line that has to go up against Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and then Montez Sweat, who just went off on last Sunday. Like, it's going to be really hard for them to stop them. And then you got backups like John Ridgway, you know, James Smith-Williams, who's good, Casey Tuhill, eventually Efe Obada, and Fedarian Mathis. Like, it's going to be really hard for opposing offenses. And then you got a good secondary behind them. And then, you know, the D-line should make the linebackers better as well. Real quick, a word from our sponsor. And a huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. BetUS is a leading online sports betting company. They're reliable, they're secure, and they've got great customer service. There's so many different sports you can bet on, all the different sports, NFL, baseball, basketball. But of course, the NFL season is underway. Yesterday, you had a solid game between the Vikings and the Eagles. But the Commanders are playing this week against the Denver Broncos, as you know, and the Denver Broncos are favored by 3.5 points. And I know a lot of people, at least Commanders fans, think that the Commanders are going to win. So if you think they're going to win, you can get really good odds, plus 163 there on the money line, and make some decent money if you think the Commanders are going to win. If you don't think they're going to win, but you think they're going to cover, you can, bet for them to cover. Or if you think they're going to lose, go ahead and bet on the Broncos. But you got that line right there, and there's so many other things you can bet on: live bets, parlays, futures, everything. So use my link in the description to get 125% first time deposit match. Also, bet responsibly. Okay, also real quick, let's talk about the Broncos, and I'll give it Chase Young. I'll show you guys the clip of him talking, but the Broncos, Jerry Jeudy is a full participant. I believe the last couple days, was limited the first day, similar to Chase Young. He's expected to be back, but on a snap count. That's what Benjamin Albright, who covers the Broncos, said. And then Frank Clark expected to be out for a few weeks, so he's not going to be there. And those are kind of their major injuries. I think they have one. Oh yeah, Greg Dulcich, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Second-year tight end who had a really solid year last year, and one of their best pass catchers. He's out as well, I believe. So that's their pass catchers are a little bit limited there with Tim Patrick towards Achilles to start off the year, or training camp. I think KJ Hamler's dealing with an issue there. And then, they got Cortland Sutton, who's good. But besides that, they've got Jerry Jeudy, but he's going to be limited. And Greg Dulcich is out. So, the Commanders should have they should do a solid job, containing those pass catchers. Really, Cortland Sutton and then Jerry Jeudy, like on a deep ball, is who you're going to have to really, really worry about a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this clip of Chase Young talking. Also, tomorrow I will be going live and previewing the game fully, but let's go ahead and I'll show you guys this clip. The volume should be good. Okay.
Man, feeling blessed, man. Ready to rock.
What was it like last week? Because you were very close. You got somewhat cleared. What was it like not being able to go, and just the emotions of all that?
I mean, yeah, obviously I want to play every game. Everybody wants to play every game. But it's all good. My time will come. So it's time. So now it's time to go play. So definitely, just blessed to be out there and doing everything I need to do to prepare.
All right, there we go. So basically, Chase Young's ready to rock. He's good to go for this game. Doesn't seem super hype, which honestly, I like. He seems locked in, dialed in, and trying to do what he can to perform in this game. He said he wanted to play last week, obviously, but he wants to play every game, but obviously couldn't. The doctors didn't clear him, but he felt ready. So I'm hype about, with Chase. I was a little bit frustrated with this injury, and I talked about that, but you guys know how much I believe and have believed and still believe in Chase Young. I have talked about it like this year. I still think he can be good. Really good. I hope this injury didn't disrupt that, because before that, apparently he was doing really well in camp and seemed to have a different mindset. But even if that, I still believe in Chase Young, and I think he can have a really good year. So I'm hoping for this game. It would be amazing to see a sack or a forced fumble. But if we can just see some good plays, some pressures, a couple plays where okay, there we go. He affected the play. And then the week after that, that's, when you start, okay, you got to get a sack, or forced fumble, whatever. But this week, it's the first week back, might be limited. So if he doesn't get a sack, we don't have to, really freak out. But that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Again, check out BetUS, link in the description. And yeah, peace.